Hi, welcome to Code.io. In this video, we'll be solving a question called a very big sum. So, the question has the word very big, but the question is actually very simple. It is not that big. So, if you remember, we have solved a question called array sum. So, I think it is the second episode, and the question was to add all the numbers that are present in an array and just to print it. Okay, that is a very simple question, and this question is very similar to that, except for a very simple change. The change is that in that array sum, we are given integers to add. Here we are given long integers to add. So it just means that the numbers are very huge and adding them will not be possible if we use integer data type. So like there it is. I have told everything. Okay, so the thing is, you have to use the same code. You can use the same code. Instead of using the integer data type, you can use the long data type, and that is the only change that we are going to do here. Okay, it's very simple. We are just going to use integer, we are going to use long instead of the integer data type, and the logic is very similar to the sum of all the elements present in an array. So it's very simple. Again, if you haven't seen the sum of elements in an array, just go watch it. It has all the logic that you need. Okay, so I'm just going to include the header file, IO stream, and as usual, you know the drill. Type everything from the beginning so that you get more familiarized yourself with that. Okay, so now we have the basic things out of the way. The input format is, the first line contains an integer n, which denotes the size of the array, and the next line contains n space separated integers, which actually is the array. So we are going to declare an array before getting the input for that array of n. So I have declared an array of size n, in which we are going to store the elements that we are going to get as input. So I'm just going to go and type for loop to get the input for the elements in the array. Okay, so here is the for loop and C in ARR of I. Okay, so I've done something extremely wrong. The thing is that the elements that are present in the array are not integers, they are long integers or just longs. So what it means is, the value that it is cannot be stored in the integer data type. It is very large for an integer data type. Integer data type is just 4 bytes, right? So it cannot store that long number. So we are going to use a data type called long. It is just an extension of an integer and it will store pretty huge numbers. So long is what we are going to use here, and as we saw in that one, we are just going to use a single loop to calculate the sum. And again, the same mistake, don't use integers, use long, because this is a very big number, you cannot store it in integers. Okay, so right after we get the input, we are just going to add it to sum, ARR of I. Okay, that's it. You are just going to print the sum. Now I'll copy this code and try to run it in HackerRank. I'll just go ahead and submit it. I know for sure this is going to work, and it didn't. What? Oh my god. Never be too confident. What is the problem? What is my error? Compiler error? What error? Okay, I'm too dumb. The problem is that I didn't get the integer. I should have got the integer input, right? The size of the array. I just declared a number and didn't get input for it. It is too dumb of me. Don't do this mistake. It is very silly. Okay, and never be too confident. I didn't even try and run it the first time. I just went ahead and clicked the submit button and it failed miserably. So don't be overconfident. No matter how much you know, stay grounded. Okay, so I should have got the input of the number of integers first and then get the input of the array. Okay, so now it's working fine. So it's a very simple question, just very similar to the sum of elements in an array. Just instead of using an integer data type, we are just going to use with the long data type, and that is it. Now since this question is very small, we'll move on to another question. So this is the next question that we are going to solve in this video, and the name of the question is diagonal difference. It is not that difficult. It is a very simple question. In this question, you are given a square matrix and you are supposed to calculate the absolute difference between sum of its diagonals. Let me explain. So you are given a matrix. Okay, in that matrix you are supposed to find the sum of its diagonals. Okay, so the one that starts from the left end to the right bottom, it is called the left diagonal, and the other one is called the right diagonal. So what we are supposed to do is, you are supposed to sum the elements that are present in these diagonals separately. So you'll have a left sum and the right sum, and you are supposed to find the absolute difference between these numbers. So what do I mean by absolute difference? You don't have to worry about the sign. Whichever number be positive or negative, or the difference might be negative, you don't have to care about it. Just you have to return the positive value. You have to just return the absolute difference between them. So that is the problem, and we are going to solve it right now. So first we'll have to get this matrix as input. Okay, since it is a square matrix, you will just need one input to know the size of the matrix, and that is given in the first line, followed by the matrix itself. So I have to get the input first and then calculate the left sum and right sum, and also print the absolute difference between them. So we'll try to code this now. First, what will I do is, so first let me get this array, the matrix as input. Okay, so now first I will get this matrix as input. First declare a variable n, which is going to denote the size of the matrix. Since it is a square matrix, you just need one variable to do that, and I'll first get the input of this value. This is the mistake that I did previously, and I'll not repeat my mistakes. Proud moment. Okay, fine. So I got this integer input, right? So this is going to be the size of the matrix. So I'm going to declare a matrix now of size n comma n. So it has n rows and n columns in it. Since it is a square matrix, that is what it is going to be. So now we have to get the input of the matrix. We have to get the matrix as the input. So I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Since it is a matrix, you have to use nested loops to get input. But the thing is, to get input for an array, you are going to use a single loop, right? For a matrix, you have to use nested loops, okay? Because this is a two-dimensional array, right? So you have to use nested loops, because for every row, you have n columns and you have n rows. So for the number of rows, you have a loop, and for the number of columns, you have another loop inside this loop. That is what we call a nested loop, right? So now we are going to get input for this matrix array of ij. So I have read the values of the matrix and it is stored in ARR of I. Now what we have to do is, we have to calculate the sum of the diagonals. The diagonal sum of the elements present in the diagonals, anything. Okay, so the first variable that I am going to use is left sum, and let it be 0 initially. Now we are going to calculate the left sum, or the sum of the left diagonal. Okay, so I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Now for this, you will just need a single loop. Okay, let me explain why. So the left diagonal starts from the left top and goes to the right bottom. Now if we observe the coordinates of the elements in the left diagonal, there will be a pattern. And what is that? So the first element is 0, 0. The second element in the diagonal is 1, 1. The third element in the diagonal is 2, 2, 3, 3, and it goes on. I am sure you would have found the pattern by now. It is that the I and j values, or the number of rows, or the row and column values of the element is same. That is the pattern that you see in the main diagonal. This is not the main diagonal, right? The left diagonal. So in left diagonals, all elements have the same row and column values. So we're going to use that principle to find the sum of the left diagonal. So we need just one loop, because you don't have two variables, right? I and j both are same. So I'm just going to use the I loop for it and add the elements to it. So array of I. Instead of ij, we are going to use ii, because the number of row and the column value and the row value are the same. So we are just going to use array of ii, and we'll add that to left sum. Now after this loop, the left sum should be done. So we have to find the right sum now. Right sum, and we are initializing it to 0 initially. Okay, now we have to use a loop to find the sum of elements in the right diagonal, and we need to observe a pattern here as well. What is that pattern? So this diagonal, it starts from right side corner and goes to left side bottom, right? So right top corner to left bottom. So what exactly is the pattern? The first element is 0, 2. The second element or the center element in case of a 3 cross 3 will be 1, 1, and the third element will be 0, 2. So the pattern here is that the sum of I and j is n minus 1. So the first element is 0, 2. Adding 0 and 2 gives you 2. The second element is 1, 1. Adding 1 and 1 gives you 2. And the third element is 0, 2. Adding those two numbers will also give you 2. So this is the pattern. I plus j equals n minus 1. So we are going to use that. What is that? We are going to use that observation to find the right sum. Okay. So right sum plus equals array of I is there. Okay, I is fine because I goes from 0, 1, 2, and that exactly is the elements row value, right? So we can have array of I as I, and the column value should be I plus j equals n minus 1, right? So we have to find the value of j from this equation. I plus j equals n minus 1. Then what will be the value of j? J equals n minus 1 minus I. Okay. So that is what we are going to use. It is just rearranging a simple equation. I plus j equals n minus 1. So j equals n minus 1 minus I. Okay, so n minus 1 minus I. I hope you understand this. So this will calculate the right sum. So the sum of all the numbers in the right diagonal, and the answer that we are going to return is just the absolute difference. And you don't have to calculate the absolute difference. You have a function for that called abs, abs. It is also present in Java. It will be in math.abs, I guess. Okay, so we are going to just find the difference, and once it comes out of this function, it will be absolute. I mean, it will only be in positive. The negative values will not come out of this function. So this should be fine. So I think the code is done. Now we'll try to execute this in HackerRank. Okay, now I'm trying to run this code. Okay, it says time limit exceeded, so I must have done something wrong. Okay, here is the thing. In the 13th line, here I have incremented I instead of j. It should be j plus plus. You might have noticed this. Didn't you notice this? My bad. Anyways, now I'll try to run this again. Silly mistake. Okay, congratulations. So the base test case has been passed, and now I'm trying to submit it, and all the test cases have passed. Okay, fine, good, great job. Hope you understood this logic. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we'll see you in the next video of problem solving. Thank you so much for watching this one.